Okay.
We're live.
We are live. Melanie is joining us. There she is. I am an idiot. I am so sorry, Melanie. I even remember like copying it and I must have forgotten to paste it.
It's totally okay.
Thanks for joining us. This is good to have this is fun to get to see new people. Have you joined us before? Did you get to do this in December? Are you just new to me as a co-host?
I think so. No, I don't think I've co-hosted with you either yet, Chloe.
You have not. Welcome. Welcome to our insanity. Normally we're better organized than this. That's a lie.
But Melanie's been like with us as like a head bubble.
Right.
For a while. So
yeah, because I'm like, wait a minute, there's no link. I realized that at the last second. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the thought was there, just not the actual, like the spirit was there, but not the brain.
Right. I mean, I have an old habit of, I would send emails, like when I was working with Nationwide Insurance, I would send emails to agents and be like, please find attached this document for your customer. And they're like, there's no document there. So I've been there. It's okay.
Nice.
How are you doing? Welcome.
Good. And thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And
so
Edward's here too. He's
mine are currently banned from my room. So you will be hearing them a lot because they are yodeling their fury at me from beyond the door.
Yeah, that's why my door is still open because otherwise the little one, when he wakes up, he'll claw at it. This one just wants attention 24/7. So
my creatures are both in the room with me. I don't know which ones are going to make more interesting noises. The human one is like frowning, which probably means gassiness. The doggy one is, I don't know where the dog went, but she's in the room somewhere.
All right, well, we got off to a real late start. So why don't we go ahead and do our first sprint to get ourselves together, and then we'll do proper introductions and what's everybody working on and all of that jazz afterward.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Sorry. I also, everything was chaos today. I also forgot to pull my, I forgot to pull my computer into my room to do this. And then I also had a bunch of computer issues because I had to delete cookies the other day. So it was all chaos, but we are going to sprint for the next 10 minutes. It is 6 past. So we'll see you guys at 16 past for a proper introduction.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, we are back, and I am me again. Yeah, yay. Okay, so we did not do any proper introductions at the beginning of this. So everybody who is here now watching, welcome. This is WordStitch. I am Chloe.
I'm Sandy.
And we have a special guest today below us.
Hello.
Okay. And we have a whole bunch of people here already. Sorry that we were like, screw you guys, we're just gonna go right into the stream. But we've got Allie here, and we got Devin, and let's see who else do we have in here. Oh god, that's a whole bunch of me apologizing to Melanie for being an idiot. There we go. Courtney is here. Thanks for joining, Courtney. And Spence. And let's see. We have a Shadow. You got here right in time. We were at the beginning of that was our first sprint. And we've got John Fitch here today. Welcome, everybody. Sandy, what are you working on today?
So I am frantically doing like a final proofread, or what's supposed to be a final proofread on the second book in my like teen sci-fi fantasy series, because I have an arc due to like one of those like arc reader services in a couple of days. But of course, like all proofreads go, every time I go through a chapter, now that it's been like a couple months since I've seen it, there's like something I can improve, like massively. So it's going to be a massive struggle just to like not do edits. Do you know what I mean? Like to proofread and not try to.
Because you can't do it.
Right.
I mean, you know my trick to that, to keep myself from doing it.
No, what's your trick?
I proofread on my phone, and I just highlight everything that needs to be fixed, and therefore what I'm highlighting to be fixed isn't like a little word choice thing. It's something that is serious enough that I put the effort into highlighting it in order to actually fix it.
Yeah. I'm actually doing that right now too. So that's hopefully that will help, because I got that from you and I didn't even know it.
I've done it for your stuff before. So probably you just might not have realized why I was doing it that way. Melanie, what are you working on?
I am actually proofreading draft 3 of my young adult dark fantasy Knights of the Wraithmaker, which I finished last Thursday morning at like 3 a.m. So I am looking to get that cleaned up. Once I go through all the proofreading, I'm going to go back and check for continuity errors. Hope to have that done by next week. So in February, I can send it off to betas, because I am looking to self-publish on September 7th of this year. So finally getting ready to get this book baby out into the world. It's my debut, so I'm really excited about it.
Yay.
Awesome. And you said this is the third book in the series. So you've written the first 2 and you're just you're planning on rapid releasing them? Is that what your goal is?
Oh, did I say third book? No, I'm sorry. Third draft of the first book.
Oh, so, you might have said third draft.
Series. Yeah, 4-book series, and then this is the first book that I'm working on. So
gotcha.
Yep.
Awesome. I am continuing on my demon romance. I did absolutely nothing all week. It was terrible. But I'm working a day, and that's the important thing. I got exactly 100 words and a pot of tea in that script. How about you, Sandy?
Oh, we already did mine.
No. What? How did you do on that sprint? Sorry.
Oh, I
phrased that wrong. That was my bad.
No, that's okay. I got like a page or so into my book, and then decided there was something big enough that it needed more than a highlight.
So you are doing exactly what you told yourself not to do.
Yeah.
Let's back out of that a little bit. How about you, Melanie? Right? What did you get done in that sprint?
I copied and pasted the chapters that I want to proofread today. I need to do it on paper. I can't proofread like the first time around while it's still on the computer. So I'm going through that. I'm trying to work on chapters 6 through 10 today. I'm trying to not break it out so that I'm doing one chapter a day throughout the week. I want to get this done. So hopefully by starting early, I can get this stuff done before I have to go to bed tonight. So
good.
Awesome.
That's how proofreading should be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a solid plan. So everybody at home, let us know what you were working on. Courtney got 383, and that's fantastic. And Allie is working on homework since you are back in school again. Yes, it is unfortunately back.
So Melanie, are you an editor? I feel like you are. Is that
Yeah, I am an editor too.
Yeah. Did I just totally interrupt it, like a stream of thought there, by the way, Chloe? Because that just popped into my mind and there was like a break in.
No, I was thinking about the fact that Ken's roommate, I am Ken's roommate, Ken's girlfriend, is a college professor. A class that started today. But not for her, of course.
Yeah. That's it is. Chloe and
Go
I
back to what you're doing. What was that?
Yeah. So Melanie, you are an editor, right? And you have like an editing business. Is that right?
I'm an independent contractor for now, but yes, I'm in the process of building it into a solid business so I can do it full time and eventually get out of corporate. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I hope that you are able to get out of. So like for people who might be interested in looking for an editor, what kinds of clients do you like?
I will take just about anybody who needs help with editing services. Usually when it comes to novels, I do the last round of proofreading prior to publication, just to kind of go through them with a, like a fine-tooth comb, looking for any overlooked spelling errors, misused words, punctuation, that kind of stuff. I've also done transcriptions for podcasts to include in blogs and newsletters. I've done web copy. So honestly, my services do vary. So depending on what you need, I can probably help you out with that. The only thing that I'm not very well skilled with is fixing Excel sheets. So if you have anything to do with that, you'll have to go elsewhere. But pretty much anything else under the sun, doesn't matter the genre or anything like that. If you do need help with a novel, I've done Magical Surrealism was my first novel. I recently edited a collection of short stories that were published through Fantasyville Productions LLC on Christmas. So that should be out soon. And I'm also contracted as a fantasy editor, a developmental editor for Creative James Media, which just launched in 2019.
Cool.
So, yeah. Whatever you need, I can probably, find a way to help you out with those needs, whether it's early on with developmental edits or with the proofreading stuff. So
that's very cool. So you guys, and look, we have Melanie's channel up in the.
Thank you, Devin.
So yeah, thank you, Devin.
Devin on the job.
Right.
Do you like editing better or do you like writing better? I've always wondered this with editors.
You know what? For as much as I love writing my own story, I love editing other people's work just because I feel like it's my way of giving back to the writing community. So, and they've really, the writing community that I've discovered online over the last couple of years has helped me get back into it, because I stopped writing for a few years when I was working corporate just because it was so time consuming. And I was like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time. No, you got to make time. And once I got that, through my head and I really made writing a habit, I just, so many projects. I'm like, I wanted to work on this novel series. I want to do these short stories. And so it's going to be a busy creative year for me in 2021. But I just love being able to help other writers just solidify and refine their writing to get it ready for publication, whether it's a full book, newsletter, resume, anything like that. I'd love to see what others come up with, because I feel like it's an honor to be trusted with their work, especially if it's in the really early stages.
Cool. So there's both. I'm glad that you like both.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we are at writing again.
We are.
Or proofreading if you're me or Melanie.
Right.
Whatever you're doing, productivity. We're at productivity again. We're going to go for 25 minutes this time, and it is 4:26 in Atlanta. So we'll see you guys at 9 of the hour. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Okay, we are back. I did terrible. I got 128. I had to do some research, and then I got caught up in nonsense in a writing group. So
No.
Yeah.
You let writing drama take over your work time. That's not good.
No, but it's, the usual people saying dumb stuff.
Oh, yay. That's always fun.
Yeah.
What kind of dumb stuff do we want to know?
No, it was literally somebody was asking in a romance group about whether whether it was a bad idea to put women on her covers or not. And I was like, I don't know what subgenre you're in, but in the last Kalytics report, the numbers analyzed came out that women actually do better than single men on covers in paranormal romance. Yes. And somebody just immediately fired back at me with more prevalent does not equate to better sales. And then this whole rant about it. Just so everybody knows, so nobody else ever makes this mistake, Kalytics, when they do their analysis of book covers, they take their top 250 in the genre for the time period, and they analyze the number of covers with that similar element, depending on what genre it is. So for romance, they take single men, single women, couples, and then other. So they'll break down those 250, how many of each fall into that category. And then they will also take the royalties from those. So, like, if those two numbers are fairly similar and it's presented as percentages, those numbers are fairly similar, then you know that you're not gaining or losing anything by choosing one over the other. But for single women, 30% of the books are single women, but 40% of the royalties are single women. And that is a huge difference. And single men are basically the reverse of that. So the books that have single women on them are doing better. They're doing quite a bit better when you're looking. What was that?
Yeah, they're making more money.
Yes. Yeah. Each book with a single woman on it is making more money. So I said that, I replied to her with that. Well, look, this is how they base their reports. This is where that comes from. And she fires back with, well, they only analyze Amazon, so you're not getting a good picture with that. That's fair if you're selling wide. But also you're just trying to poke some other hole in this because I just proved you wrong on something and you're a bitch.
Yeah, and I mean, like, who's selling romance without using Amazon? Like, who's successfully managing that?
Right. Well, I guess if you're wide, but I very rarely see anybody who is wide. I know that they are out there, and that's why I phrase it that way, because I certainly have seen it before, but it is very rare that I see a self-published author who, even if they are wide, who are still not doing the overwhelming majority of their sales on Amazon. It's very rare that Amazon is still under 50%.
And Amazon provides a really good picture of the market, right? Like, even if you were selling a wide, presumably what people buy on Google Play or Barnes and Noble or whatever is similar. I mean,
yeah. And she, like, in her, she went a little bit further. So she's like, it's not a good reflection of what sells elsewhere. But again, that's not really usually an issue for most indie authors because they are doing the bulk of their stuff. You still want to have your book designed with Amazon in mind, unless you're in, like, the dungeon or something, in which case you can't market on Amazon and you may as well. But, like, the chances of you being in that situation is pretty rare. And she also points out that if it's a perma-free book, it is wide, and that should be taken into consideration. But again, the OP never said any of that. So yeah.
Wow. It's amazing what people will do just to like dig their heels in on a position.
Yeah, the way that people will double down. That like, instead of just admitting that they were wrong on something, like, oh, I didn't realize that was what K-Lytics did. She had to go on this whole other thing about how awful K-Lytics is for only analyzing Amazon. When ultimately, like, K-Lytics is pretty much one of the most powerful tools that most self-published authors do have at their disposal, because they analyze so many things in it, so much more than just the cover.
Yeah.
Anyways, how did you do, Sandy?
I got through part of a chapter. This is hopeless. This is hopeless, but maybe I'll get through half the book. Half the book is more proofreading than they would have gotten otherwise.
Are you catching a lot of errors?
No, I mean, I'm not really catching any errors, actually. There's like I caught a comma that probably shouldn't have been there, okay. But like mostly what's happening at this point is I'm seeing an opportunity to like add in a better word, right? So it'll be like, like 3 months ago, I didn't, it didn't dawn on me to add this word, or like this particular chapter. This is my main female protagonist's first chapter in the book, and I never like her first chapters. They're always choppy. I always redo everything with her. Yeah. I mean, her second chapter might be totally fine. So no, I mean, it's not like anybody's going to die if they get the book.
Right. That was more my concern. Like, if you're seeing a whole bunch of errors, then it's a problem. But if you're not seeing a whole bunch of errors, then if you can't get this proofread finished in time, still finish it, but at least it will be there. And if it's just little minor errors, then and not that many of them, of course, then it should be okay.
I have a false perception that if I were to just fix all the writing and the proofreading errors, then like every review will be amazing. And the reality is, no, it won't. Like, in all likeliness, all the reviews on this book are going to be terrible because it's a book 2, and like, it's a book 2. It's a book 2.
Yeah.
It's a book 2.
That's
and it's
the
in
other
writing.
thing, is if it's the book 2, then I mean, it's not that you could just like slag off on the book 2, but like certainly there are certain elements that you don't have to worry quite so much about.
Yeah, I'm scared for book 2 of my series.
What was that?
It's hard to do a book 2
of my series. That's I think that's why I wanted to go with 4 instead of 3, because especially with it being a fantasy, yes, 3 is a nice rounded number for this type of genre, but at the same time, there's so much that's going to be building up to that final book, and I feel like people can easily skip book 2 if they wanted to, but it's like, no, you can't. You really can't. Just give it a chance. So that's what I'm going to be drafting this year. And I already started working on it a little bit last year, but I'm just like, I'm so terrified of that part of this project.
Well, I mean, you're an indie writer too, right? You're not trying to get this traditionally published?
No, I was told that it could get traditionally published, but I want to do it indie because I want to be in control of everything. So
then why not make it as long as you want, right? Like, I mean, I get like why trilogies matter in like the traditionally published world, but heck, like in the indie published world, this is how I'm justifying the fact that my saga is going to be. I don't even know if it'll end. I don't even know. I
know from romance, where these days quartets are pretty universal. It's very rare that you see a trilogy anymore. It's usually quartets, if not longer.
Yeah, or they never end. They're Black Dagger Brotherhood, and they just go on.
Right. You also have that. Yes, you have the unending series, and then you've got like Lisa Claypass that will do like 4 packs that are all in the same verse. So there's really like, I don't know, I think she's up to 5 of them now. So there's like 20 books in the verse, but they're done in sets of 4, which that is also really common in shifter romance now. But yeah, so I wouldn't worry at all about doing 4 over over 3. I know that with YA, the convention is still leaning more toward trilogy. I think. I say that, but honestly, I don't know. The last couple of YAs I've read have been all over the place.
I've seen both, and there's a lot of YAs that are getting to that 7, 8, 9, 10, book,
Yeah.
as far as how the series goes. Because I think I haven't read her yet, but I think the Sarah J. Maas books, she's close to the 7 to 10 range. So.
Yep. And then on the other side, the YA book that I most recently read, I'm pretty sure is going to be a duology. So I think the trilogy convention is pretty much dying off. I should probably ask Kalytics about that. And I did
want to though after that last little exchange.
Yeah, Spence did say in the middle of all that it's still helpful information for the original poster too. And I did. That was why I had to stop writing to deal with that post. Was I didn't want me to read this and say, oh, well, I guess Kalytics is just looking at this one thing, so why spend my money on it? So yeah, I just kind of chewed that person out for being, pretty unfair and misleading to say that about Kalytics. Like, yes, you're absolutely right. They're only analyzing Amazon, but it's still like, don't say that they're not doing a good job of what they're doing, because they are.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do our next. Melanie, you didn't tell us how you did in that last sprint.
It's fine. I put 2 pages. When I'm drafting on Microsoft Word, I don't set up the headers with the page numbers, just because I hate messing with that stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to worry about formatting other than my double-spaced 1-inch margins until it's ready to be formatted. So I went to go write the page numbers in just so I wouldn't get lost. And instead of continuing from the end of chapter 5, which was page 51 going into 52, I started writing 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got all the way up to 27 before I realized I messed up. So I was like, okay, why not? Let's go back and renumber everything from page 52 up to 91. So I did that for the first 13 minutes and talked to my husband for a little bit, and then I got my 2 pages done here. So at least I got something done.
Little progress. We all did little progress that time. That's okay. We'll do bigger progress this time.
Baby steps.
We are going to go for 30 this time. So we will see you guys at 33 past.
All right.
Okay, we are back. I did get 751 words written, and I got an apology. It was a padded apology, don't get me wrong, but I'm accepting that apology and moving on with my life.
That's amazing. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for the writer community as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So moving on. Sandy, how did you do?
I got through a chapter and started on another chapter. So I made progress.
Awesome. How about you, Melanie?
Same. I finished the chapter that I started proofreading in the last sprint. So I got 6.5 pages altogether. Chapter 6 was like 8.5 pages. So I got that done.
Awesome. So during that sprint, we had CB join us. Hey, CB. And I feel like, yes, Better Days Zeller had also joined us, as well as Al. And Al had a question. Al is working on some fantasy, I'm assuming, and Al has a kingdom with a great war with somebody. They took a deal with an enchantress for 1,000 years peace. And what kind of creature should the war be with? Further information, her population is not quite human. They are a bit elven. They have pointy ears. Some have magic and some have wings. Does not have a name for them, but that's fine. So if anybody has a suggestion, she, in this conversation, she herself suggested humans, which I liked. But if y'all have other suggestions, please share.
I always like it with the humans. Like humans are the bad ones, right? And like elves are elves, fairies, orcs, whatever become.
Every time we have something like this, I always think of that. I was about to say that old Twilight Zone, but like Twilight Zone is from what, the 60s, 50s? So of course they're all really old. But there's that one where they're talking about how hideous that woman is, and it turns out that she is a normal, pretty human, but everybody else is so malformed now that, or like so different looking from humans, that we consider them hideous, but they consider humans to be hideous. And I always like that little plot twist. So yes, I'm happy with humans being the enemies. I know, Melanie, you pointed out that it's usually the fairies messing with the humans, but I also like a good story where like you turn something like that on its head, and like maybe the fairies are messing with humans for a good reason.
Right, exactly.
So we had people get a bunch of stuff done. Shadow is almost done with dinner, and Spence is starting dinner and also wrote 255 words. Greg did a good job on procrastinating. Congratulations. CB got 500, fantastic, and Courtney got 694 words. People are dying, so progress is being made, and I support that as a sign of progress.
And only on AuthorTube can you say something like that and get away with it without being questioned.
I like, that's one of my favorite things with writing, like the crap that we end up learning as writers, and the how many times you have to be like, I'm a writer, I'm not actually killing anybody, I'm not making bombs, yeah. This is fine.
Please don't take me in based on my Google history.
Right. But also, like, you should see the fact that I'm trying to figure out how to kill somebody in the 17th century as proof that, like, I'm not actually trying to kill anybody.
Also good to have like a therapist who can vouch for you. These are good things.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes. Yep. And like have books out there in which people die in these ways. I feel like there's absolutely been like premises to TV shows and movies and whatnot that is authors literally doing that to cover up the fact that they are murderers. But like, whatever, whether you're a murderer or not, you should do it.
It's like we're murderers of our characters, but it doesn't go beyond the page. So,
I mean, maybe it does, but I'm not here to judge you for that. Oh, and let's see. CB has written 2 versions of the novel that she's working on right now. One with love seeds and the other with hints of it. Gotcha. And yeah. So it's hard as somebody who does write both steamy and also attempting clean romance. I've had that struggle before of like neither of them working how I want them to. I got 547 of hers. So that is fantastic. And oh, CB, I'm not actually writing 17th century murders right now, but thank you for the suggestion. Okay. So, oh no, our next sprint isn't until 5:45, right?
Yes, we have 5 whole minutes left.
Yeah.
I think.
ooh,
We're getting that.
caught up.
So that also means, so at this point, this is going back to a conversation that Sandy and I had yesterday. So my roommate's girlfriend's water broke last night at 9:45. And I thought that it was crazy that it took them almost an hour to leave the house. And Sandy said that that was completely normal and that this sort of thing takes a while. And we are now 19 hours later, and that baby still hasn't come out.
Yeah, so they had like 2 months at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been like bugging for progress. I don't care. Baby's gonna be born. No, whatever, But yeah, there's definitely, I've kind of hit that point where I'm like, is this just not gonna happen? Like what is going on? What? Okay.
No, it'll happen. It just sucks that it's taking so long. I bet that's not going to be a fond memory for her later. That part. I'm sure that the part where the baby's actually born, she'll probably like that.
Oh, Al had to have her water broken at the hospital, and it was still another 24 hours later, and then it ceased. That baby did not want to come out, Al.
Yeah, that's we wish Kat well.
Yeah.
And hope that she's not having a disastrous.
Yeah. And like, I do know that this is something where women can be in labor for like days and whatever. I just didn't expect. I don't know. All of my friends have had their kids fairly quickly.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. All of my friends who had natural births, most of them, the birth that I was there for, that was like 8 hours, I think.
Oh, wow.
And that was pretty on par with her other 2. And I feel like the worst that any of my friends have had before this was only 16 hours. So, yeah. And Al just said that she had a friend who was in labor for like 30 minutes. So, yeah.
I had a friend like that, too. When she had her second kid, her water broke. Her dad was taking her to the hospital. And like 28 minutes later, the baby was out.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it a couple months ago. There was a video of a woman who literally gave birth in the parking lot, like didn't even get into the, I think it looked like it was a birthing center, not an actual hospital that she was going to. But you know what? I'm proud of her because she saved a whole bunch of money by giving birth to that kid in the parking lot.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That's a perk.
Yeah.
So she never had to go into the hospital. Therefore, she never had any bills.
Well, right. I'm assuming like they had to do a wellness check on the baby, but I feel like,
No delivery room. No recovery room. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, there might have been a recovery room, but that would have been like certainly none of the hours leading up to that. But I don't know. I feel, and she literally like, it was definitely the poor girl. Oh my God. She basically gave birth standing up in her like yoga pants. Yeah, so I'm like, you know what, at that point I I wish. Okay, so Al does know the story. It looks like it says she still went in and has stayed for a few days. But man, I feel like at that point I would have been like, you know what, I'm just going home.
Yeah, wow, that's wow. I feel
Yeah.
kind of like really ridiculously lucky right now. I had 0 minutes of labor pains.
Right. They just cut that one right out.
Yeah. Planned C-section, amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get our last sprint going. Ooh. Oh, CB was a planned C-section as well because she was breached. That sucks. And that's something I was just watching. I've been watching Outlander lately, and she just had to deal with a breach, and I'm like, oh my god, no, she's gonna die. No, she was fine, but okay. Let's go for our final 10-minute sprint. It is 5:45, so we will see you guys at 5 of. Okay. I didn't keep track properly, so I don't know how many I got that time, but I did get, I think, over 1,000 words on that sprint at least. Yes. Or over the right in. There we go.
That's awesome.
How did you do?
Yay.
So I I decided I need to let go of some of my perfectionist standards and skipped forward to just like a few chapters that I have most recently worked on to proofread again.
That was really smart.
Yeah, I'm gonna put these together and I'm gonna hand it over. I mean, the Amazon file is due on the 21st, but that's still 10 days from now. That's significantly more time to do like a real proofread. So
I wouldn't, you know that they've been having issues though, right? And that you should not wait until the last second on it.
No, I will try not to not wait.
Yeah, like don't, I mean, you know, I've literally waited, not deliberately, but waited until 15 minutes before it was due to submit. Don't do that because some people are having like, this was last month and the month before, like October, November. So I don't know if it's still going on, but I know that people were having an issue where it was taking like 2 to 4 days for things to get cleared on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So don't like if as long as you're giving yourself like a 5-day bubble instead of the what is it, 3 days usually?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say as long as you give yourself like a 5-day, you're probably okay. But that is just a heads up that this was a problem that was happening in the fall, and I don't know if it's still a problem.
I will make sure not to let the book go out. I think like one person has pre-ordered the book. Like, I don't know why I'm freaking out about this, but yeah, I will try not to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's I don't know if that ends up messing. Oh, you know what? I was gonna say I don't know if that ends up messing you up if you you know, if you cancel a pre-order, if it falls under that category, if you cancel a pre-order and then like Amazon is like, I'm gonna let you rot and die now for canceling a pre-order, but that's not what they're doing now because of COVID. They've changed that policy. Remember, it was that you couldn't do another pre-order for like 2 years or something like that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
No,
So they suspended that policy at least during COVID. I don't know if it's going to come back or not.
I am aware that I am aware of that, and there's no way I'm taking advantage of that. I need this book out, but there is. It's going to have to be not perfect.
That is okay. Melanie, how did you do?
I actually sat in the quiet for 10 minutes. My husband's working and there's like no noise going on in the house except for the heater. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be still for a few minutes. I did kind of doom scroll on Twitter a little bit, but I was laughing more than anything. So I just needed to kind of take a brain break after finishing that last chapter because there was a lot that needed to be done in chapter 6. So I'm like, I'm going to pause for now.
I support that.
I do too. I think sometimes you need that break.
I've been taking advantage of that lately and taking too many breaks, and that's why I am so ridiculously far behind from where I want to be right now. But I do always support breaks.
I think it's kind of extremely important, especially this year, right? Like because it's been a really freaking stressful 2020.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
And 2021 is not starting out much better.
No. We've had insurrection. I mean, like not like insurrection as the title of a book.
Right.
It's like there's a meme going around, like 90s kids just going 10 major life events, you know, year after year after year. It's like, yeah, can we get a break?
Yeah.
It's like senior year. It's always been something major going on.
Yeah, like they were supposed, like we were. If this was supposed to be a trilogy, the trilogy ended. The trilogy ended.
Well, you know what? In 2020 started things, and 2021 is book 2. Circling back to what we talked about at the beginning. So it's like, do we want do we want this book? Can we skip this one?
Yeah, so what happens in 2022? Like, do we become
Right.
a society
Things
of
are
like,
wrapped up in a pretty bow, and it's going to be a nice big happily ever after, and we're all going to be okay, and
you know, this is dystopian, right? Like,
Well,
everybody
yeah.
dies at the end of those.
Of course.
All right, before we get all panicked over that,
Right.
we all did good work, right? Everybody got work done. That's great, especially for a Monday.
Yeah. And I'm glad I got at least one chapter done after spending a good chunk of the afternoon on the phone. So I'm happy about that.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes. Huh.
Yeah. I guess I'm supposed to end this show. Oh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting. What is this?
Ignore everything that just happened. I had switched speakers because I realized I was on the wrong speaker, and apparently I was on the right speaker all along because what the hell just happened? Okay. So on that like really creepy finish, I feel like we're done for the day, right? Oh, and I've got a battery that's dying. Awesome. So thank you so much, Melanie, for joining us. Oh, did you have anything that you wanted to pitch right now? Now is your chance.
If you want to subscribe, I did officially launch my AuthorTube channel earlier today, so I will be starting to post content probably bi-monthly to start. Writing stuff, reading stuff, anything that has to do with words, it'll be on there. And be sure to follow me on Instagram, Write with Melanie _ between Write with and with Melanie. And that's where I post a lot of my writing updates as well. So thank you both for having me. It was fun hanging out with you guys and actually meeting you face to face.
Yes, we definitely are welcome back anytime. And Sandy, it sounds like you also have something to pitch right now.
Oh yeah, my second book is coming out. It's coming out, and you can find information probably about it on my website. It's been so long since I've updated things. That's like kind of on my to-do list right now. Oh my gosh. 1 year. This is
a fully proofread book. The book is fully proofread.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm gonna 1 year. 1 year things are gonna be so much better. But my memoir is out. My memoir is out, and that is fully proofread and also a actually good book. So go get that one. Not that my fantasy books aren't good. They're just fantasy books.
Her books are good. All of them are good, even her YA fantasy books. Ignore her. If they weren't good, she wouldn't be continuing to stress this much about them. And for me, I have nothing of import to pitch right now, but I will be back on this channel tomorrow at 8 a.m., Wednesday at 8 p.m., Thursday at 10 a.m., and Friday at 8 a.m. because I have to have the dumbest schedule possible.
Oh, I might be with you tomorrow morning, and maybe also some of the other times. It's
awesome.
possible.
I'm excited. We'll actually be able to do like 10-minute breaks because I've been doing 5-minute breaks just so that I don't go into a panic mode trying to talk for 10 minutes. So that is fantastic. So, and you can also find me on Twitch for the exact same programming, plus extra little writing and gaming and quilting stuff. So, on that note, we will see you guys all later. Have a great evening and good luck with your endeavors.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks again, guys.
Bye.